Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be talking about MDMA therapy today and what I think about MDMA and why it's bullshit that they didn't legalize MDMA therapy. I mean, what the hell? This happened about a year ago, I think, where they tried to push it through and the FDA shot it down under the notion that it wasn't diverse and the studies weren't diverse enough. But it's mainly veterans. Like, it's mainly veterans that suffer from PTSD. It's veterans, and it's a lot of people, though. It's a lot more people than just veterans. And the second group I was going to talk about, which is recovering drug addicts, which I am one of those. And the trauma from that is very real. And today, I've overcome a lot in my life. I've gotten off pretty much every drug. I still do this. I still vape, but I mean, I can hardly be faulted for that because I did quit caffeine and I quit pretty much everything. This is really all I do anymore. But I've noticed I was on a walk today and I was thinking about it. I go for like 3 mile walks to clear my head. And I was thinking about how out of anything that I would have today, it would probably be PTSD would be the one thing that I still have after getting clean off of everything. And my heart really goes out to these people who are veterans and they come back from war, or just ordinary people who have PTSD who have been through some fucked up shit, man. And I think it's ridiculous that they shot it down and they said, no, we're not going to legalize this because, the studies weren't inclusive enough and some other factors. But what we're really trying to say is that we got lobbied and bribed by these big corporations from Big Pharma who don't want to see people get better. They just want them on these medications. Dude, bro, come on, man, that's gaslighting. It's gaslighting in the deepest sense. In the deepest, most real sense, that is gaslighting 101. It's more gaslighting than when the news says the economy is doing great right now and we have the best economy ever. Ever. Even though a taco costs $10, we have the best economy ever. Even though people can't afford to live and have homes, we have the best economy ever. And it's more gaslighting than that. I mean, I really feel for these people because here's the thing. When people have PTSD that goes untreated like that, I mean, you see all these veterans who are out on the streets who self-delete, and it's sad, It's like, what the fuck, You got to throw people a bone here at some point. You got to let people, because we have all these rules and regulations, and they say, oh, it's for your own safety, it's for your own good. Now, you be a good little bitch and you don't talk about it, and it's like, no. It's like you think if the people in power were smart, they would meet people halfway and make something like MDMA therapy legal, because they say, well, there's a drug epidemic and there's a mental health crisis epidemic out there. And the one thing that can solve it is MDMA therapy. But we've been lobbied by the big pharma to tell you that we don't approve of it. And we're going to give you all these gaslighting bullshit nonsense reasons, all these woke ass reasons why we're not going to legalize it. Come on, bro. Come on. If I were like the president, the first thing I would do is legalize MDMA therapy. And I would say, look, I want to generate goodwill with the public. I'm just going to legalize this across the board. Everywhere has to have it. There's not going to be any ridiculous nonsense or insurance to get in there. People can just go and they can get the MDMA therapy done. Mental health crisis averted. Because the best solutions for things are always very simple. They're always very simple things. And I literally just got a 333 confirmation on my phone right here. I don't know if you guys believe in synchronicities or not, but I do. 3, 6, and 9 are the three spiritual numbers in Pythagorean math. And then if you want to go a little further in vortex math is like a pattern where 3, 6, and 9 are the only numbers that don't appear in that pattern, which makes them sacred numbers. So I got a 333 confirmation on my phone just now when I said that. So the solution is just to legalize MDMA therapy. I mean, what the hell? I don't got to go into some long ass rant about this, about why, about what's the answer? What do we do? Do we fill out form A271C? Do we go before the Council of 15 and defer the notion to the Order of Templars? And then we go through and fill out the next form, and then we bring it before Congress, and then they vote on whether or not to pass. And they probably won't, but, we can try anyway. Dude, just legalize it. Just legalize MDMA therapy. I mean, so MAPS has made a lot of progress, and marijuana has been legalized in a bunch of states. Psilocybin's getting legalized, but no one's talking about MDMA therapy. It works very well, and I'm sure you saw those Oprah those Oprah clips where she said, "Oh, look, MDMA puts holes in your brain. It's dangerous. We can't have people taking that." And the study was faked. It was amphetamines that had the holes in your brain, and they're not even actually holes in your brain. What they are, they're dead spots on your dopamine from so much dopamine being released by doing meth. And that's what it is, and it's all a bunch of gaslighting and lies and nonsense. And I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I've seen a lot of people, friends of mine, die over the years, man. I've been in NA for 13 years. I don't go that often anymore, but I've seen too many people fall, and needlessly. And that's the worst part about it, when it's needlessly, when something could have been done to prevent it, when something could have been done to help those people and to save those people. It weighs on you. It does. So legalize it. What the hell? Like what? What kind of world are we? Is this like a topsy-turvy, backwards? It doesn't even feel Orwellian. It feels like something Orwell couldn't even comprehend back in his time. Like, he guessed and he said this is probably what it's going to be like, but he couldn't have predicted this. Palantir AI monitoring every little detail about every little thing you do. And we're going to do that. And we're going to make everything really hard. And we're going to make it so that, jobs are hard to come by and money is like worthless. But, there's one solution out there, and that's MDMA therapy. And we're not going to give that to you either. And it's going to be a great deal for nobody. For absolutely, like, what the big pharma, maybe, because they can prescribe antidepressants and all this other shit. But don't they make enough money? Isn't billions enough? Isn't trillions enough? How much money do you want to make at the cost of human lives and human suffering? And that's the real question. I don't know if the algorithm likes this or not, likes this type of discussion, but I don't care, man. This is something that's got to be talked about. Why is nobody talking about MDMA therapy? It's the best solution. They did tests and studies. They found that after like 2 sessions with MDMA therapy, people with PTSD no longer registered as having PTSD, and it was pretty much across the board, and that's phenomenal. No other medication is like that. Psilocybin, maybe, but you don't have to go through the process of having an ego death to get it, and that's the real key there. So what the hell are we doing? Legalize MDMA therapy. I think I've said it like 10 times already. Legalize MDMA therapy. I don't claim to be a magician or anything like that, but I do set the intention out into the world. MDMA therapy will be legalized. Legalize MDMA therapy. Come on. So yeah, maybe I'll do some drawing. You see those drawings on I talk about this in almost every video, and I got that painting. It's not the big one that I did, but it's the little one there hanging up on the wall. If you can see it way back there, I really like that painting. I'll show you guys in another video the exact painting, because I painted it in 2020 and I didn't like it at first. I was like, this is all right. I never really paint, so maybe I'm not as good, but I hung it up now. I really like it a lot. So maybe I'll get back onto the canvas again and do that. My solution to deal with all this nonsense, if you do have PTSD, find creative outlets, find creative hobbies. They keep you stable and grounded, and that's my main advice. And get into a producer mindset. I've already said this. Producer mindset, man. The more you consume, the less fulfillment and happiness there is, I feel. And the more you produce and create, that's where happiness and fulfillment really come from. That's where they really shine. When you create something out of nothing and you can proudly hang it on your wall and say, I did that, or trying to like line it up here, I did that, it's a great feeling. It's frustrating. I was thinking about it on my walk, and I'm like, why isn't it legal yet? Like, what? MAPS has been providing these studies. I started looking into MAPS in 2018 when they were talking about all the microdosing stuff. And they're still at it, and God bless them, because they're doing a really good job with it. But when someone like MAPS provides all these studies and it still can't get through, it's like, what do you do? They're just going to keep gaslighting us and say, oh, well, we're not going to do this because big pharma lobbied us, and we're just going to tell lies because we got money for it. It's like, I wonder what kind of special place in hell is waiting for these people. I really genuinely do, man. For me, I'm not going to talk about like the astral realm in this video. I'll do it in another video, but there is an afterlife, there is. I've had near-death experiences, and I've gone through it. And I mean, that alone, actually, that alone, if nothing, if it wasn't the drugs, if it wasn't anything else, I'd say the near-death experience was kind of traumatic in its own right. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think MDMA should be legal? Do you think it's a bunch of nonsense and I'm full of shit? Let me know. And you say a prayer for me, and I'll say a prayer for you. And you guys have a great day. In spite of that, my day is going pretty good, so I'm happy about that. So I'll see you guys later, and you have a great day. All right? Bye.